Alright, and now we just say goodbye to everyone, isn't that right? Coyote. Guess that's it, huh? You captured Sam's killer and now he'll get his justice. I guess so. All that's left is to get paid. It was a little more involved than I expected. She looks back at the Universal Brotherhood, just a little. Coyote grins first time. Well, I'm gonna grab Paco, head back to the Union, maybe watch a trade or something. And I could use a long shower too. After that, back to destroying the BTO trade. I think she's done with that. Gonna give up being a runner. You could learn the business, take over for Mrs. Kubota someday. Ah, maybe. You know what, why not? She gets a twinkle in eye. Someday maybe, when the rest of my body is made of metal too, but not today. Alright, if that's what you want to do with your body, I mean... Today I run the shadows, get paid, get dirty. If you like it, then you should do it. I mean, I wouldn't... I mean, if you can get paid without getting dirty, why would you get dirty? Unless you enjoy it. See you around, SCKC. You're quite a guy. I can honestly say I've never met anyone quite like you. Alright, so she's gone. I wonder, like, there have been other characters, but we only kept Coyote around, right? Right, like there's the who's that other guy? The first guy that we hung out with. I forgot his name. You know, we went to the market and we killed the gang. Oh, we attacked the gang leader. We let the gang leader go. I'm just thinking, like, of all the NPCs that have joined our team, only Coyote really stuck around for the whole duration. Like Paco didn't really stick around. That other guy didn't stick around, and the shaman, who we left at the mental hospital, didn't stick around. Like if we kind of did things differently, could we have convinced them to stick around and become our team members? I'm not sure. I don't think I'll play the game again. I mean, this game is pretty good, but it's not good enough for me to play again because it's so story driven. I don't know. Harlequin. The painted elf is watching the scene unfolding around the Universal Brotherhood with a grimace. Well, kid, it's been fun, but I've seen everything I care to see today. I'm gonna get out of here. Is there a problem? Where's Herr Brackhaus? I thought he'd be here too. Okay, seriously, who are you? Okay. Okay, come on. Okay, seriously, who are you? A friend. Alright. Until I need you for something, then I'm a bastard. Is there a problem? He gestures at the crowd as he speaks. Look around. Note the members of the press being shuffled away by Universal Brotherhood spokespeople to get a private briefing. The Brotherhood is connected. A damage control team is probably on the way right now. Think they can control the press? One way or another they will. If they can't be manipulated, coerced or bribed, they'll probably disappear quietly. There's more though. He nods his head towards James Telestrian. Note the expression on the UCAS FBI agent. Speaking to Telestrian. Dismissive, isn't it? That's because there's no love lost between the UCAS and Tiangear. They're not gonna trust what he's telling them. And frankly, I have no idea what he's telling them. James plays his own game, always has. Do you trust him? The FBI isn't stupid enough to ignore this. How could James turn this to his advantage? Well, there's an economic incentive for one, power for another. If there was an outbreak of bugs in a major city and his company had the only product capable of combating it, you think it might give him some sort of edge? I'm not saying he'll do that, but I'm saying his field test results were quite compelling. Let me show you one more! He points at someone in the crowd and smiles. The man sees him pointing and smiles back. That guy there, he's with Ares Macro Technology. Enormous megacorp, ridiculously powerful. They've been sniffing around Project Aegis for quite a while now. Clearly they have an agenda that's just starting to unfold. He gives the Ares man the finger, the man smiles and returns the gesture. Government, media, business, all working to ensure the truth stays hidden. Not from me, so it's a massive conspiracy. Working together? I don't think so. I mean... okay. Working together? Me either. In a way, it's worse. It's a series of conspiracies, conflicting agendas, and petty jealousies, all building upon, feeding upon, and excreting into an unending web of dreck that people wade through every day and call it life. If there was one Dreck Lord controlling everything and we could drive a magic sword through his heart to free the world, that would be grand. Such clarity, such focus, alas. So what's the lesson in all of this? That I did it all for nothing? Where's Herr Breckhouse? I thought he'd be here too. What is Harlequin trying to tell us? I thought we just need to kill the bugs. What is Harlequin's agenda anyway? He laughs, just the opposite, schmuck. The lesson is this: the game is rigged, the cards are stacked, the dice are loaded. It's the same as it always was, every cycle. People in power exert power, little people cower in their homes, think what they're told to think, and buy whatever product will help them forget how horrible their lives are for another day. Yeah, but if little people like me didn't stop the bugs, they would lose to the bugs. Our world would lose to the bugs. We'd all become bugs. Right? Like, at some point, I mean, I get corruption, I get greed, but at some point you actually have to get stuff done, otherwise everything falls apart, and then whatever money or power you accumulated doesn't matter if the world is destroyed. Like, you see what I mean? I understand greed, I understand corruption, but at some point you also have to actually do proper stuff just to keep things running. Ah crap, did I skip through? Did the game just lag and I skip a... Anyway. That's why we don't play the friggin' game. We don't swallow the Dreck sandwich and politely ask for another. That's why we run the shadows. That's why you run the shadows. I just offered to work for Telestrian. That's where real life is, kiddo. Reality is living in the places no one wants you to see. Where's Herr Brackhaus? I thought he'd be here too. Harlequin? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's talking too much. I mean, you know the thing like show, don't tell? This is something the game should have shown us, instead of just kind of bugs. And then at the end, Harlequin goes back to talking about, oh, corporations and government and corruption. Again, like as I said before, the game kind of presents these themes as though they are kind of interesting and important, and they are interesting and important. But the main story of the game is giant insects trying to destroy the world. Which is not politics and corruption and all that kind of stuff. And then after we kill the insects, we go back to Harlequin giving us this monologue about these themes again, which the main story of the game didn't actually address these themes. So in that sense, I think the story could have, like, instead of like talking around it and then telling a different story, the story could be about this corruption and stuff, and corporations and government. All right, where's Brackhaus? He flew back to Berlin. All sorts of things brewing there. He was very impressed with you, though. It could probably turn into work someday, but I'd forget about him if I were you. Never make a deal with a dragon, kid. They're playing a different game entirely. What are they playing, Harlequin? Alright, see you around, Harlequin. So Harlequin's basically a runner. Like, he's the muscle. Hey, McCluskey. McCluskey's alternating between trying to look important and trying to avoid actual work. What are you looking at, Tube? Nothing, just some asshole. Intelligence, your shoes untied. Trick him so you can cold cock him. I don't want to punch him though. Charisma, hey McCluskey, I just spoke to Mr. Telestrian, he said you got your lieutenant's badge. Yeah, no, I don't want to punch him. I don't. Why are you punching him? Why do you want to punch him? Like, at the end of the day, McCluskey is just a dog on a leash. Right? He's got an attitude because his boss has power. He's just on Telestrian's leash. Why would you punch him? Alright, just nothing. Oh yeah, Jake Armitage, that's his name. Yeah, so Jake... Could he have joined our team or not? Because he turns up here. Jake shakes his head, smirking as you approach. When you finally get close, he breaks out laughing. I heard the Universal Brotherhood was getting shot up on the police scanner. Knew it had to be you. Did you get her? She's in custody now. Ah, justice is served. He scratches his mop of red hair. I guess that concludes the story of SCKC and the Dead Man's Switch, huh? You know, I've been thinking, maybe you should stay in Seattle a while. There's plenty of ways folks like us can get into trouble here. You only skimmed the surface. Yeah, you weren't any part of it. I heard Mitsuhama's looking for a team. No idea what that's about, but it could be lucrative. And I just got word that something's going on at Crater Lake. The Tia's got it on total lockdown, no fly zone, the whole thing. There could be something in it for us if we poke around. And there's always the Orc Underground. Haven't seen that yet, have you? I got plenty of friends there who are good for a job. Something's bound to come up, what do you say? I'll think about it, Jake. I'm in, talk to you later. Sorry Jake, I'm a solo act. Not sure I'm gonna stay in Seattle. I'll think about it, Jake. You do that. If you want to find me, I'll be at McCracken's later. Got a taste for some seafood. Take it easy, chummer. I mean, he talks like a friend, but he's been missing in action the whole time. Like, we haven't seen him most of the game. Alright, Dresden? The little coroner is surprised to see you, but he can't hide his delight. Hey SCKC, I was wondering if I was going to see you again. I guess I shouldn't be surprised to find you here. Wherever there's mayhem, that's where you'll find me. Hello Dresden, how's my favorite body snatcher? Just making more work for you. Thanks, but I prefer natural causes. Well, are bugs natural causes? He popped his eyebrows, eager. You know, it's all over the Trivid, right? They found the Emerald City Ripper dead at some asylum, out in Snohomish, of all places. Turns out he'd been masquerading as the head administrator or something. They found him dead from some sort of vigilante attack. He leans in, whispering conspiratorially. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Why, Mr. Dresden? I've no idea what you mean. I might, hard to say. A vigilante attack, huh? Wow. I know, it's fascinating, isn't it? Well, no one can say he didn't have it coming, am I right? He frowned at himself. That was a double negative. No one can say he didn't have it coming. So, the big question, what about the Dead Man's Switch? Now that the Ripper's dead, are you gonna collect? Damn right I'm gonna collect. Right, the Dead Man's Switch, almost forgot about that. Not sure I can care anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna collect. I'm not gonna leave money lying on the table. Like, if I don't take it, the lawyer's just gonna pocket it, right? Excellent, I'm sure you deserve it. How do you collect? I was told I need a secure line to call the number Sam gave me. Can't use my comlink. He brightens. Lone Star's emergency response team set up a secure phone line right here to coordinate their efforts. I can authorize you to use it. Thanks, Dresden. Don't mention it. Take care, CKC. Alright, so I just click on myself to end the game, is that right? I'm not punching McCluskey. The phone before you has a simple numerical keypad. You can use it to call Sam's law firm and cash in on the Dead Man's Switch. Call the law firm and finish the job. You tap into the phone number Sam's lawyer gave you days ago. The phone rings 7 times before someone finally answers. The image of the lawyer on the other end of the vidphone is noticeably different from the one you saw a few days ago. The noise in the background sounds like it's coming from a bar. Yeah? This is Sam's lawyer. He squints into the phone and recognition slowly appears on his face. Oh hey, it's you, SDKC, right? So you got Sam's killer, huh? Yeah, I got Sam's killer. That's right, I want to get paid. What the hell's going on? Are you even a lawyer? Yeah, I got Sam's killer. That's great. Hang on, let me slot Sam's video in for you. Oh, Sam didn't have the money, did he? Of course he didn't have the money. Let me slot Sam's video for you. He fumbles for a moment and the camera jerks crazily. Then it goes to static and is replaced by Sam, good old Sam. Sam still looks like Drek, same clothes, same background, probably shot at the same time as the first video. Hey buddy, looking good, he giggles. If you're calling this number, that means the job is done, right? He closes his eyes, shakes his head. Congratulations, amigo, I knew you'd do it. You were always the dependable one, more than me anyway. He looks back at you, trying to speak soberly. I just want to say thank you for whatever you did. It means a lot, not even knowing what you did. It still means a lot. Because I know you did something. You know what I mean? I know you made it right somehow. I mean, killing your killer was easy. The bugs thing was a completely different thing. He pauses, tilts his head back, he breathes, his breath hitches in his chest. You're the only one whoever tried to help me, ever. Except my sister, she tried more than once, she tried. I never let her though, never let her in. I regret that a lot. I mean, should I show this to your sister? Did I ever tell you about her, buddy? We're twins, I guess. You're still a twin after one of you dies? I don't know. Doesn't matter, I guess. He sighs. God, listen, do me a favor, will you? If you talk to her, her name's Jessica. Tell her I'm sorry, okay? For everything. She'll know what for. She's Catholic, so she'll forgive me. I need her to forgive me. Why don't you... Jesus. Just tell her I love her. He straightens himself, shakes it off, that grin is back. Anyway, you need to get paid, which would be great, except for one thing. I got nothing. Never did. You know how it is, right? Sorry, but hey, thanks again for giving a crap. Seriously, I appreciate it. This is why we took the job. This is why we took the job with Telestrian. Tell you what, if you feel sore about it, look into my family background a bit. There's gotta be people with money in there somewhere. Maybe one of them can throw you a few bucks. Take care, amigo. See you in hell. Wait, so Sam Watts is James Telestrian's half-brother, right? Yeah, no, your sister was summoning bugs. But it's okay. Alright, I got... Your half-brother made me an executive consultant. He reaches forward and shuts off the camera. The vid screen goes to static and the call ends. There's a moment of silence and then you feel a tug on your jacket. It's Dresden. So what do you say? Thank you. He just said thank you. Nothing, Dresden. Not one damn thing. He told me to never trust a dead man. No, he said thank you. He just said thank you. The Emerald City Ripper killings are sensationalized for several weeks. Lurid reports focus on the killer masquerading as the administrator of Mercy Mental Hospital. Soon after, pop singer Maria Mercurio is cast as the lead in Dr. Ripper, a trivid thriller about a reporter who goes undercover as a mental patient to uncover a serial killer. Seattle Newsnight reports a shootout at a chapter house of the Universal Brotherhood. Witnesses claim that a gang of religious fanatics stormed the building for unknown reasons, but committed suicide before they could be captured. All mention of insect spirits, James Telestrian III, or Shadowrunners are kept out of the news. 1 year later, the city of Chicago declares a quarantine area between Lake Michigan and the Des Plaines River. Officially, the Chicago Containment Zone is established to fight an outbreak of an infectious virus, but an infestation of insect spirits is suspected by those who know. A mature form of Project Aegis called FABS-3 is eventually deployed to remove the bug threat from Chicago. The Watts family name has since been lost to the shadows. So there are more bugs. And that's the game. Um, yeah, I mean, I've talked about my criticisms already. I'm a little surprised they didn't add more side missions. There was exactly one side mission. There was exactly one side mission and no others. How much work would it have been to just add more side missions? I guess it would be quantity over quality. I don't know. Um, what do I want to say? Not much really. The story is alright. As I said, I mean, I've said this several times already. I wish the story actually tied into the themes instead of, you know, tangenting off into bugs. I mean, like a serial killer and then giant insects set in a world where there's all these corporations and governments and corrupt police and none of this intrigue, none of this stuff is actually explored. The characters you meet, they don't stick around. You don't get to put them in, like, you don't have to get to use them in your team. Which I don't know if that's my fault or not. Maybe that is my fault. Not fault, but just like maybe I had the option to get on their good side and get them to stay, but I just didn't take those options. You feel like there's so much depth to the setting, but the story explored so little of it. Like, the story explores so little of the depth. I'm just thinking like what other story-driven cyberpunk-ish game? I mean, it'll be Deus Ex. The first thing that comes to mind is Deus Ex. And I guess Deus Ex, and like every Deus Ex game, is bigger budget probably. They're longer? Actually, are they long? Maybe they're not longer. But there's more depth. There's more side missions. Like let's talk about Deus Ex Human Revolution, right? There's a lot more side missions. There's a lot more environmental storytelling. Yes, there's the main story, but in every city hub, you like wander around, you talk to people, you meet characters, you do little side things for them. A lot of them is just like fetch quests, like walk around, fetch things. But in the process, like you meet a lot of different side characters. You talk to them, you learn their story, you understand what's going on. And there's just more, you know, given the depth of the setting, you dive in further into the setting in Deus Ex. As opposed to this game where there's like a really deep setting and then you feel like you're only touching a very little, like just touching the surface of that setting. And I just wish you got in deeper, you know what I mean? But you know, I understand games have budgets, and maybe this game didn't have a very big budget. It's kind of hard to, given the depth of the setting, I guess it's pretty hard to explore very much of it through this kind of storytelling. I don't know. I wish there was more to it. Is what I mean. And like Mrs. Kabuto. Remember when we talked to her? She said, "Oh, maybe when we know each other better, I'll tell you more about my past." And now the game has ended, and we never got to that. She never told us about her past. Right? Like we saved Coyote for her, and like we do stuff around the Union, and like Mr. Cluey is really interesting, but like, you know, like we don't get into any depth about his past. Yeah, like there's all these characters, like Mr. Clean, Algernon, the weapons dealer, like they all have like it's implied there's backstories, but you get so little of it. You don't get to any depth. It's like there's you know, there's like a setting, and then there's difference between setting and story, right? A setting describes the thing, and the story explain like a change or explain how the character changes over time, right? The setting and the story. And you know, I'm just thinking back, talking to those characters, the characters tell us their setting. The characters don't really tell us their story. The doctor, Dr. Sarah, I mean, Coyote is the one who's closest to actually us finding out about her story. Jake Armitage, like we don't know what Jake Armitage is about. Harlequin, like again, like Harlequin, he just dances around the issue. Like you keep asking him like, who are you, what are you, and he just never answers you, never gives you a straight answer. The dragons is like it's implied he's a dragon, but again, he doesn't tell you. Coyote and Paco is probably the most fully fleshed out. Who's the other guy? Who's the lady, the shaman? I forgot her name already. But like, her brother was killed by the Ripper. You help her kind of free her brother, and then you kill the Ripper, and then she takes over the asylum to fix the place. But there's not much like backstory. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the stuff, like the depth is implied, but you don't explore any of it. And it's a bit of a shame. I wish there was more to this game. It's a good game. Like I enjoyed it. It's certainly playable, right? In terms of gameplay, it's playable. The story is enjoyable, but you just wish there was more. Alright, let me get out of this. Is this just all the Kickstarter backers or something? It is, right? Yeah, and that's the whole thing. There's one side mission. There's exactly one side mission and no others. I think they plan to have more. What is content? The Dead Man Switch is the main story. Seattle area environments and tile sets. This is like the official tile set. Core Shadowrun returns functionality. So this is the base game. And then you have an editor, or you can't see it's behind my face. It says run Shadowrun editor, and then like browse more content. And then you can go to the workshop and get content that other people have made. Shadowrun returns user-generated content. Shadowrun SNES Reboot Alpha version. Shadowrun jacked up. So people are like making... This version is no longer maintained. We require Dragonfall and as such are transitioning to the Director's Cut workshop. Alright, so I mean... Okay. Nightmare Harvest from the Shadowrun, from the Shadows Run. So this is like... Oh, I clicked on it, I didn't mean to click on it. 1,300 ratings. So like a lot of people play this stuff, right? 55,000 current subscribers. So people make their own content. What is going on there? So aside from the main story, there's a whole lot of user-generated stuff. Well, there's some user-generated stuff. Most popular, most subscribed. Like how many? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just want to see like how many are like 5-star. Lost Slam Ode, Back to Seattle. I mean, okay, I mean this is kind of cool, right? Shadowrun Unlimited, what is this? It's designed to be more than a simple campaign. It's the world of Shadowrun, replayable runs with random elements, assigned randomly by fixers from their pool of runs. Okay, so somebody like made a whole randomly generated missions thing, but only offer a few at a time. I mean, this is kind of cool, right? All right, so I think I get it. I think I get it. It's like the game engine is like a platform for people to like make their own stories too, and that's like where most of the content is probably. I get it. I'm not gonna play those. I do have the other games. So there's Shadowrun Returns, and then there's Shadowrun Dragonfall, and then there's Shadowrun Hong Kong. So there's 3 games, or like 3 main stories, I guess. I will eventually play through those other 2. I don't know if I want to do it immediately after this one or like play some other games in between. Eventually I'll probably play Dragonfall and Hong Kong as well, since I enjoyed this one so much. Maybe if I really enjoy the thing, after Hong Kong I will see what user-generated content is in that game, and then maybe we play those if I still want more, but probably not. Probably I'll just play the main stories. Alright, cool. Good game. I wish there was more, and there is more. As I said, there are 2 more sequels. So we'll get on to those at some point in time. Alright, see you. See you in other games. Good game, I like it. I wish there was more.